Hey, chance of ExamsNet. Welcome to the question series of ExamsNet. Students, you must have explored our website www.examsnet.com. This site is a great place for you to practice your entrance exam question papers. Because here you will find so many entrance exam question papers along with their detailed PDF solutions. And you must download our app. The link is available in the description box for the better preparation of your exams. So today, students, we will be solving BITSAT 2022 means Birla Institute of Technology and Science Admission Test 2022 paper. So in this particular video, I'll be solving the physics part of the paper. Okay. So starting with the physics series, that is question number 1 of the physics part. The stopping potential V naught versus frequency mu of a graph or photoelectric effect in a metal. From the graph, the Planck's constant H is okay. So first of all, this question is from the chapter of modern physics. Okay. So in this question, we are asked to find the Planck's constant H. Okay. So this question is from the phenomena of photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect. So what happens in a photoelectric effect? When light of a suitable frequency falls on the surface of a metal, let us say here it is a photon whose wavelength is lambda. This photon falls on the surface of the metal and the electrons are ejected from the surface of the metal. So these ejected electrons are called photoelectrons, okay? And these electrons conducts current which is called photocurrent, okay? Photocurrent. So the equation for this photoelectric effect is given as kinetic energy max. It is equals to initial kinetic energy minus work function phi. Okay, this initial kinetic energy can be written as hc over lambda minus phi, where this h is the Planck's constant. Okay, so from this graph we have to find the value of this Planck's constant h. So we can write this this equation. We can also write it as like energy. Energy is what we write the energy as EV na in terms of EV. So we can also write it as EV naught is equals to, for this we can write H nu minus H nu naught, where nu naught is the stopping potential. Okay, this nu naught is called the stopping potential. So we can also write it as EV naught is equals to, taking H common, nu minus nu V minus V naught. Okay, so for this V naught will be equals to H over E into V minus H over E into V naught. This H over E is the slope of the graph. Okay, so from the graph we can see that since here from here H over E is the slope, so since H over E is the slope, okay, so Planck's constant H will be equals to E into slope. Okay, so E is what? Value of E is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. We all know that, into slope. And from here, the slope will be this 16.5 minus 0, 16.5 minus 0 over this 8 minus 4 into 10 to the power 15. Okay, so this will be equals to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 into 16.5 over 8 minus 4 is 4 into 10 to the power 15. So solving it, we get H is equals to 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34 Joule second. Okay, so our correct answer is option A, 6.60 into 10 to the power minus 34 Joule second. Okay, now next question 2. In a resonance column, first and second resonance are obtained at depth 24 centimeter and 78 centimeter. The third resonance will be obtained at depth. Okay, so this question is from the chapter of oscillations. So according to question, the first and the second resonance are obtained at depth 24 and 78. We have to find the depth of the third resonance. Okay. So let us say L1 means for first resonance, the depth is 24 centimeter. For second resonance, L2, the depth is 78 centimeter. Okay. For third, we have to find, okay, the depth. So we know that L1 plus X is equals to lambda by 4 and it is given as 24, okay. And L2 plus X equals to 3 lambda by 4 and it is given as 78, okay. And L3 means third resonance. L3 plus X is equals to 5 lambda by 4. Okay. So from, let us say this is equation number 1, this is 2 and this is 3. So for first and second, we find that solving the first and second for the value of X. Okay. So if we solve it for the value of X, then we write it as X is equals to L2 minus 3L1 over 2 is equals to 78 minus 3 into 24 over 2. We will get it as 3. Okay, let us say this is equation number 4. And from equation third and first we can write L3 plus X over L1 plus X equals to what? Lambda by 4. Sorry, L3 is 5 lambda by 4. Now 5 lambda by 4 over first one is lambda by 4. So this lambda by 4 cancels. So we get L3 plus X over L1 plus 5. L1 plus X. This is X. L1 plus X equals to 5. Okay. So from here we can write L3 plus X equals to 5L1 plus 5X. So L3 is equals to 5L1 plus 5X minus X. So we get L3 is equals to 5L1 plus 4X. Okay, let us say this is equation number 5. So uh, from since we get the value of X as 3, so just putting the value of X3 from equation 4 in equation 5, we get L3 is equals to 5L1 plus 4 into 3 and the value of L1 is 24 as given in the question. So 5 into 24 plus 12. So L3 is equals to 5 2 is 10, 11, 12 plus 2 means we get, sorry, it is 12, no, not 2. We get it as 132 centimeters. So the value of L3 is 132 centimeter means B is the correct answer. Now next question, third. A submarine A traveling at 17 meter per second is being chased along the line of its velocity by another submarine B traveling at a speed of 34 meter per second. B sends a sonar signal of 600 hertz to detect A and receives a reflected sound of frequency nu. The value of nu is, okay. So this question is from the chapter of waves. Okay, so according to question, let us try to understand it as, let us say this is submarine A, okay, and this is submarine B. The submarine A is traveling at a speed of 17 meter per second and submarine B is traveling at a speed of 34 meter per second, okay. Now, signal sent by submarine B is detected by submarine A. Let us say this submarine is sending a signal and it is received by A. So frequency of the signal is given as, so first of all, VA is 17, VB is 34 and F naught. Let F naught be the frequency of signal. It is given as 600 hertz and speed of the sound in water is given as 1500 meter per second. Let us say Vs is the speed of sound in water. Okay, and it is given as what, 1500 meter per second. So F1 means frequency received by submarine A. F1 will be equals to Vs speed of sound minus Va velocity of this submarine A over speed of sound in water minus velocity of B into F naught means signal frequency. It will be equals to, but just putting the value 1500 minus 17 over 1500 minus 34 into F naught. F naught is what? 600. So solving it, we get F1 is equals to 1483 over 1466 into 600. Okay. Let us say this is equation number 1. Now F2. F2 is what? Frequency received by submarine B. It is equals to Vs plus Vb over Vs plus Va into F1 means the frequency which is reflected by A and it is received by B. Okay. See, since the submarine B is sending a signal in this direction and submarine velocity is also in this direction, since both are in same direction, that's why we have used the negative sign here. Okay. And when the signal that is reflected by A is towards B means B is traveling in this direction and signal is traveling in this direction means these are opposite but tending towards each other. That's why we have used the sign positive here. Okay. So solving it, we get 1500 plus 34 over 1500 plus 17 into F1. And F1 is this equation number 1. So just put the value 1483 over 1466 into 600 and now solve it. So after solving it, we get F2 is equals to 1.0112 into 1.0115 into 600. So F2 will be equals to 613.7 hertz. Okay, this is our final answer. So F2 is 16 and 613.7 hertz means option A is the correct answer. Now, question number 4. The transfer waves of the same frequency are generated in two steel wires A and B. A and B. The diameter of A is twice the diameter of B and the tension in A is half that of B. We have to find the ratio of the velocities of the waves in A and B. So this question is again from the chapter of waves. So as given in the question, first of all, we know that the velocity of the transverse wave is given as V equals to under root T over M, where this T is the tension and M is the mass per unit length. Okay. Sometimes we also write in place of M mu also. Okay. So if R be the radius of the wire, let us say, and rho be the density, then we can write M mass equals to what? Area over area into density. So area is what? Pi r square into density rho. Okay. Let us say this is equation number 1. So for this, the velocity of the transverse wave will become T over mass. Mass value pi r square into rho. Okay. So for a wire, let us say for wire A, so we write it as VA. It is equals to under root of TA over pi into r square. So we can write r outside of the under root part. So RA into pi into rho. Let us say this is equation number 2. And for VB wire, we can write, sorry, this is under root T now. So for we can write it as under root of T over, we can write RB outside the root and pi into rho. Let us say this is equation number 3. Now, according to question, we have to find the ratio of velocities of waves in A and B. So VA over VB will be equals to under root of, let us say this is TA, TB. So under root of TA over TB, these are constant, so these will cancels out each other. So into RB over RA. So from here, okay, from the question, the diameter of A is twice that of B. So diameter is twice means radius of A is equals to twice of radius of B and tension in A is half of B. So TA will be equals to half of EB. So just put these values here. So we get VA over VB is equals to tension of A is half the of B na. Tension of A is half that of B. So in place of TA, we can write half of TB over TB, and RB in place of RA, we can write 2 of, sorry, this will be RB is 2 of RB. So solving it, we get VA over VB as 1 over 2 root 2. Okay. So this is our final answer. So among these four options, 1 over 2 root 2 means option C is the correct answer. Now next question 5. In the diagram shown below, both the strings A, B and CD are made up of same material and have same cross section. The pulleys are light and frictionless. If the speed of A in string AB is V1 and in CD is V2. Acha, we have to find the ratio of V1 over V2, okay? So this question is from the chapter of Mechanics of Solids and Fluids. Mechanics of Solids and Fluids, okay? So now let us redraw it as, let us say this is A, this is the pulley, this is point B, this is C, this is again another pulley, and this is point D having mass. Okay, so tension T in this direction and tension T is also in this direction, and there is another pulley. Okay, and for this tension is in this direction. Okay, so this will be 2T tension T 2T na. So solving it, let the speed of wave in string V and tension in string be T. Okay. So speed is V, tension is T. So since V is directly proportional to under root of T, how V is equals to under root of T over M, as we have done in the previous question where T is the tension, M is the mass per unit length. So V is directly proportional to under root of T. So V of AB over V of CD will be equals to under root of T over 2T. So it will be equals to 1 by root 2. Means option D is the correct answer. Okay. Now next question 6. What will be the acceleration due to gravity at depth D, where G is the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth? Okay. So this question is from the chapter of gravitation. Okay. Acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth is given by G equals to Gmm over R square. Okay. So we can write it as 4 by 3 pi into rho into GR. How we write it as, since we know that M is equals to what? Volume into density, and volume is what? 4 by 3 pi R cube into density. So in place of M, we have written this 4 by 3 pi R cube. Okay. Again, I can write it as G M is what? 4 by 3 pi R cube into rho over R square. So this R square cancels 2 power of R. Thus we get the value here. G is equals to 4 by 3 pi rho G into R. Okay. So acceleration due to gravity at the depth D from the surface of the earth. Okay. At a depth D from the surface of the earth will be equals to G dash will be equals to 4 by 3 pi into rho into G, and in place of this R we will write R minus D, means at a depth of D. This is R, let us say R be the radius of the earth and it is at depth D. So this R radius of earth minus this depth D. So let us say if this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. So from equation 1 and 2 we can write G dash as, this part will constitute G. So we can write G 1 minus D over R. So our correct answer is option D, G 1 minus D over R. Okay. Now next question 7. A direct current of 6 ampere is superimposed on an alternating current I equals to 10 sine omega t flowing through a wire. The effective value of the resulting current will be. Okay. So this question is from the chapter of alternating current. Alternating current. Okay. So since we are given I is equals to 10 sine omega t and a direct current of 6 ampere is superimposed on this alternating current. So our final current will become 6 plus 10 sine omega t. Okay. So for this, we have to find the effective value of resulting current. So effective value means I effective will be equals to, let us take the limit, for example, that from 0 to t time. Okay. So 0 to t I square dt. This is a formula to find the effective value of the current over 0 to t dt. Okay, just put the value of I here and solve this integral part. So we get I effective is equals to uh, 0 to t 6 plus 10 sine omega t whole square dt over 0 to 2t dt. So this 0 to t dt will become t. So this will become 1 over t 0 to t 6 plus 10 sine omega t square dt. Okay. And whole power 1 by 2. Whole power 1 by 2. So it will also have whole power 1 by 2. Okay. This we solve it at t. So here we write 1 over t. Okay. So it will be equals to 1 over t integration 0 to t. So 6 square means 36. A plus b whole square na. So 36 plus 100 sine square omega t. A square plus b square plus 2ab means 6 2 is 12. 120 sine omega t dt whole power 1 by 2. Okay. So it will be equals to, and okay, this is 1 by t na, and sine square omega t and sine omega t. Okay, so 1 over t 0 to t sine square omega t is equals to 1 by 2. We know that. And 1 by t 0 to t sine omega t dt is 0. Okay, so just put these value here. So putting these value, we get I effective is equals to this 36 plus this 1 by 2 into 100. This one, okay, because 1 by t sine square omega t is 1 by 2 na. And if we solve this 36 0 to t dt, so we get for this 36 t, and here in denominator there is also t. So this t cancels, we get only 36. And for this we have this 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 into 100. Okay. So solving it, and its whole power is 1 by 2. So we get it as I effective is equals to 9.27 ampere. This is our final answer. So among these, option C is the correct answer. Now question number 8. Which of the following graphs represents the variation of electric potential with distance r from the center of a non-conducting charge sphere? So this question is from the chapter of electrostatics. Okay. So we know that the electric potential at the center R will be 0. For non-conducting charge sphere, the electric potential at the center R will be 0. So for this, the graph will look like this and then this. Means V inside is KQ over 2R 3 minus r square over r square. This is for the non-conducting sphere of radius r. And V outside is K Q over R. It means it is directly proportional to 1 over r. So from these graphs, the correct graph will be, acha, for this is for the outside one, huh? This is for the outside one. This is for the outside one, means directly proportional to 1 over r. And if we write for the inside one, so for inside one, the graph will look like this. Let's say this one, okay? So combination of this outside and inside, combining this graph 1 and 2, the resultant will look like this, and then this, okay? So the correct option is option D. Now next question 9. For an insulator, the forbidden energy gap is. So this question is from the chapter of semiconductor. Okay, for an insulator. Okay, so for an insulator, the forbidden energy gap Eg is greater than 3 electron volt. That is why electron transition from valence band to the conduction band. Since this is the energy band gap, na Eg. Since for an insulator, this band gap is greater than 3 electron volt. Thus, the electron transition from valence band to conduction band is not possible. And for semiconductor, this band gap is 0.2 electron volt to 0.3 electron volt. Therefore, the electrons travels easily from valence band to conduction band. And if we take the case of the metals, for metals, this energy band gap is greater than 5 electron volt. Okay, so the correct answer is option D, 5 electron volt. Okay, so next question 10. A machine gun fires 300 bullets per minute if the mass of each bullet is 10 grams. Now, next question 10. A machine gun fires 300 bullets per minute if the mass of each bullet is 10 gram and the velocity of bullets is 600 meter per second. The power of the gun is. Okay. So, this question is from the chapter of work, energy, and power. Work, energy, and power. Okay. So, work done by the gun will be equals to total kinetic energy of the bullet. Okay. Work done will be equals to total kinetic energy of the bullets. So kinetic energy formula is half mv square. Okay, and put n also here because here the number of bullets is 300. So 300 into 1 by 2 into mass 10 gram means 10 into 10 to the power minus 3 kg into v square. V is 600 whole square. So solving it, we get 150 into 10 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 600 into 600. Okay, let us say this is equation number 1. Now in question we are asked to find the power. So power of the gun will be equals to total work done over time taken. Okay, time taken. So work done is what? This 150 into 10 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 600 into 600. And time taken is, the question is saying per minute. Per minute means 60 seconds. To solve it, we get power equals to 9 kilowatt. This is our final answer. So option B is the correct answer. So next question is 11. Four holes of radius 5 centimeter are cut from a thin square plate of 20 centimeter and mass 1 kg. The moment of inertia of the remaining portion about z axis is. Okay. So this question is from the chapter of laws of motion. Okay. So now in this question we are given with the four holes. Okay. And these four holes are cut from a thin square plate and whose side is given as 20 centimeter and mass is given as 1 kg. Okay, so first of all let us say each hole have a radius of r. Okay, this one is also r, this one is also r. Let us say this is the center of the plate. Let us say it is o point. Okay, and the distance of this o point from this center of this hole is x. Okay, so if we want to find this value of x, so we have to use this here, the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, let us say this is x, this is y, so it will be z axis. Now, the area mass density will be equals to sigma equals to mass over area. So area is, since this square plate is of radius 4r, so its area will be 4r square. It will be 4r square. So it will be equals to m over 16 r square. Let us say this is equation number 1. Now the mass of each hole will be m1. So it will be equals to, mass is equals to density into area. So density into area is what? Pi into r square, since each hole is having a radius of capital R. So, and density is m over 16 r square. So put here the value of density 16 r square into pi r square. Okay. So this r square cancels. We get pi m over 16. This is the mass of each hole. Okay. Let us say this is equation number 2. Now, distance between the center of the plate and this center of the hole x will be equals to, using Pythagoras theorem, under root of 2r square plus 2r square whole divided by 2. Okay, since we this x, if we are using Pythagoras theorem here, so this we are finding the whole distance now, but we want to find only this distance, so we divide it by 2. So it will be equals to 2 root 2r over 2. Okay, now let us say this is equation number 3. Now the moment of inertia of one hole about this z-axis will be equals to, let us say it is I1, so it will be equals to 1 by 2 m1 r square, where m1 is the mass of each hole, plus m1 x square due to this x distance, okay, from the center of the plate. So it will be equals to what? Half m1 is this pi m over 16 into r square plus m1 into x square, means this 2 cancels, so we get 2 root 2r whole square. So solving it, we get I1 is equals to 5 pi over 32 mr square. Let us say this is equation number 4. Now the moment of inertia of the whole plate, of this whole plate about this z-axis, will be equals to what? I, let us say it is I, so it will be equals to 1 by 6 m into r. The side is of 4r, so 4r square. So it will be equals to 8 by 3 m r square. Let us say this is equation number 5. Okay. So we have to find what? The moment of inertia of the remaining portion about the z-axis. Okay. So remaining portion moment of inertia will be, let us say it is I naught. So I naught will be equals to what? I minus 4I1. 4I1 means since we are having 4 holes. So I is what? 8 by 3 mr square minus 4 into I1. I1 is this 5 pi over 32 into mr square. So solving it, we get 8 by 3 minus 5 pi over 8 m r square. Okay, so since in this question we are given with r 5 centimeter and mass is 1 kg, so put the value here. R is 5 centimeter and mass is given as 1 kg. So solving it, we get I naught is equals to 8 by 3 minus 5 pi by 8 into 1 into 5 square. So it will be equals to 0.0017 kg kg meter square. So this is our the final answer, that is the required moment of inertia. So the correct answer is option C, that is 0.0017 kg meter square. Okay. Now next question 12. A particle of mass m is projected with velocity v at an angle theta with the horizontal. Okay. At its highest point, it explodes into two pieces of equal masses. One of the piece continue to move on the original trajectory and the other velocity of second piece is. Okay, we have to find the velocity of the second piece. So this question is from the chapter of motion in a plane. In this question, we are given a projectile motion. Let us say this a particle of mass m is projected with velocity v at an angle of theta. The velocity is v with the horizontal. Okay. Now at its highest point, let us say this is the highest point, it explodes into two pieces. One piece goes like this and other piece continues in the same trajectory. Okay, so we have to find the velocity of this piece. Okay, so now using the law of conservation of momentum at highest point. Okay, conservation of momentum at this highest point. This is the highest point, conservation of momentum. So conservation of momentum means initial momentum will be equals to final momentum, means when the mass will explodes into two pieces. So it will be equals to initial momentum will be, this term will be v cos theta. So we write mv cos theta will be equals to, now the total mass is divided into two part na. So first one will be m by 2 v cos theta because it follows the same trajectory, plus m by 2 v dash, of which we have to find the velocity. Okay, so now this will be equals to mv cos theta minus m by 2 v cos theta. Okay, so it will be equals to m by 2 v dash. So v dash will be equals to this m cancels, so we get v dash is equals to 2 v cos theta minus v cos theta divided by 2. So solving it, we get v dash is equals to v cos theta. So among these four given options, v cos theta means option B is the correct answer. Now next question 13. In the circuit shown, assume the diode to be an ideal diode. Okay, when Vi increases from minus 2 volt to 6 volt, then the change in the current. Okay, so this question is from the chapter of current electricity. In this question, we are given an ideal diode, and when Vi increases from this to this, we have to find the change in current. Okay, so let us say initial current be 0. Okay, initial current, if we assume initially it is 0, so and Vi changes from minus 2 to plus 2 na, sorry, plus 6 volt. So this diode conduct only beyond when the Vi means initial voltage is plus 1 volt na. So it will conduct only when it will be beyond plus 1 volt. So final current will be equals to, using Ohm's law, since V equals to IR, so I will be V over R. So final current will be V is 5 volt over R is what, 250. So solving it, we get 0.02 ampere. Okay, it means 20 milliampere. Initial current is 0 means the initial current will be 0 when the initial voltage Vi will be less than and equal to plus 1 volt. Okay, the voltage is from minus 2 volt to plus 6 volt na? But here it is showing plus 1 volt, so initial voltage will be less than and equals to plus 1 volt when the initial current is 0. So for the diode to conduct only diode, since this diode will conduct only when Vi will be equals to plus 1 volt according to the given circuit. So for this plus 1 volt, the current will be equals to 5 over 250. So it will be 20 milliampere. Means option B is the correct answer. Now next question 14. The de Broglie wavelength of an electron moving with a velocity of c by 3 is equal to the wavelength of a photon. Okay, the ratio of the kinetic energies of electron and photon is. Okay, so this question is from the chapter of modern physics. Okay, since we know that de Broglie wavelength is equals to lambda equals to h over p, where lambda is the wavelength, h is the Planck's constant, and p is the momentum, and this momentum is equals to mass into velocity. Okay, so lambda will be equals to h over m into v. Okay, so for electron, lambda e will be equals to h over me, and this electron is moving with a velocity of what? C by 3, na? So V equals to C by 3. And for lambda p, for photon, it will be equals to H over MP into C. Let us say this is equation number 1, this is equation 2. And given that the wavelength of electron is equals to the wavelength of the photon, it means equation 1 is equals to equation 2. So equating both equation, we get h over me into c by 3 is equals to h over mp into c. This hs cancels, this c cancels, so we get me over mp is equals to 3. So ratio of the kinetic energy, let us say this is equation 3. So ratio of kinetic energy will be equals to kinetic energy of electron over kinetic energy of proton. Okay, so it will be equals to what? Half me ve square over half mp vp square. Okay, so half cancels, so we get me over mp equals to 3. So in place of mp over mp we write 3 into ve square over in and vp square. And since according to question, ve is equals to c by 3 and vp equals to c, so just put these values. So ve square means this c square over 9 over VP square means C square. So C square cancels, and 3 3s are 9. So we get the ratio of kinetic of electron, sorry, kinetic energy of electron over kinetic energy of proton is equals to 1 by 3. Okay. So the correct answer is 1 ratio 3 means option B. Now next question 15. In the circuit shown in the figure, the AC source gives a voltage V equals to 20 cos 2000 T. Neglecting source resistance, the voltmeter and the ammeter reading will be. Okay. So this question is from the chapter of alternating current. Alternating current. Okay. So in this question, we are given with R1 is equals to 8 ohm. This R2 is equals to 2 ohm. This, okay. And inductance L is equals to 50 millihenry, na? Millihenry. L is given as 50 millihenry and C is given as 50 microfarad. And V naught is given according to question 20 cos 2000 T. Okay. So we know that impedance Z is equals to what? R square plus XL square inductive capacitance minus inductive reactance minus capacitive reactance. Okay. So since XL is equals to what? Omega into L. So XL is equals to omega into L. Na? So omega is given as this 2000. Since compare, if we compare it with standard equation, so we get V is equals to V naught cos omega t. Na? So omega is what? 2000. So writing here omega 2000 into L. L is given as 50 millihenry. So 50 into 10 to the power minus 3. So it will be equals to 5 to the 10 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 to the power 4 minus 3. So it will be equals to 100 ohm. Let us say this is equation number 1. And XC is equals to 1 over omega C. So it will be equals to 1 over omega is 2000 into C is 50 microfarad, means 10 to the power minus 6 farad. So solving it, we get 5 to the 10 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 to the power 4 minus 6. Okay. So it will be 1 over 10 into 10 to the power minus 2. So it will be 1 over 10 to the power minus 1, means 10 ohm. Okay, so now this in this question, this is 50 millihenry, na? Okay, so omega will be equals to, so now for this Z will be equals to, impedance Z will be equals to under root of R square plus this XL square minus XC square. Okay, so this will be equals to R. R will be, these 2 ohm are in, these two resistance are in parallel. So for parallel combination, we write 8 into 2 over 8 plus 2. So it will be equals to, it was 16 over 8 to 10. So it will be equals to 1.6 ohm. So it will be equals to 1.6 whole square plus XL means 100 minus XC 10 square. So impedance will be equals to this 1.6 into 1.6. It will be equals to 6, 15, carry 1, 2. 2.56 minus 100 minus 10. It will be 90. 90 square means 8100. Okay. So this will be something different. I think in this question must be not 50 millihenry. It should be 5 millihenry according to me. If this question is 5 millihenry, so solving it for 5 millihenry, then XL will be omega L, it will be equals to 2000 into 5 into 10 to the power minus 3. Then it will be 10 ohm. Okay. If we solve for 5 millihenry, because for 50 millihenry, the impedance will be something of different kind. Okay. Negative. So according to me, this cannot be possible. So it will be 10 ohm. So let us say this is equation number 1. So if we see that from equation 1 and equation 2, XL is equals to XC. So XL is equals to XC means from this I maximum will be equals to V naught over Z. So Z will be equals to, when XL is equals to XC, so Z will be equals to R square only. So Z will be equals to R. Okay, so it will be equals to V naught over R only. So R will be equals to 8 plus 2, 10. So it will be equals to 20 over 10. So solving it, we get 2 ampere. Okay. So IRMS will be equals to I maximum over root 2 means root mean square value. So it will be equals to 2 over root 2. So it will become 1.41 ampere. Okay, let us say this is equation number 3, IRMS. So V will be equals to R2 into IRMS. Okay, so R2 is what? 2 into RMS is 1.414, or we can write 1.41 only. So it will be equals to 2.82 volts. So our final answer is 2.82 volt. 1.41 and 2.82 volt means option B is the correct answer. So in this question, I think this 50 Henry, the given value is wrong. It must be 5 millihenry, not 50 millihenry. Okay. Now next question. 16. An electromagnetic wave is propagating along x-axis at x equals to 1 centimeter and t equals to 18 second. Its electric vector E is equals to 8 volt per meter and the magnitude of its magnetic vector is. Okay. So this question is from the chapter of electromagnetic waves. Since we know that E is equals to what? B into C. Okay. So E by B is equals to C. So from here we can write B is equals to E by C. E is given as 8 and C is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So B becomes 2.66 into 10 to the power minus 8. Okay. 2.66, it will be 2.66, or sorry, it will be 266, not 2.66. Okay, so the correct answer is option A. Now next question, 17. In the following circuit, the equivalent resistance between X and Y is. Okay, we have to find the value of R, equivalent resistance. So this question is from the chapter of current electricity. Current electricity, okay. Now, according to this given figure, okay, X is at lower potential with respect to Y. Since at X there is minus 12 volt and Y minus 3 volt. So both diode are in reverse biasing. So equivalent circuit can be redrawn as, let us say this is point X. So it will be, this is 8 ohm, this is 2 ohm, and this is in reverse bias. So it will be act like this, 12 ohm, and this is Y. and this one will be like broken wire. It will be 4 ohm, and this is 6 ohm. Okay, now the current will flow like this in this direction, from here to here, then from here to, because it is broken wire, so no current will pass through it, and it will be like this. Okay, so equivalent resistance between X and Y will be equals to, R equivalent will be equals to what? This 8 plus 2 plus 6. 8 plus 2 plus 6, because these wire are broken. So the final answer is 16 ohm. Since this X is at lower potential as compared to Y, so these diodes will act in reverse biasing, and reverse bias condition, the diode will act as a broken wire. Okay, so correct answer is option C. Now next question 18. A monatomic gas of molar mass m is kept in an insulated container. Container is moving with velocity v. If the container is suddenly stopped, then the change in the temperature of the gas is. Okay, so this question is from the chapter of kinetic theory of gases. Kinetic theory of gases. Okay, now in this question we have to find the change in the temperature of the gas. Okay, so let the insulated container has n number of moles of the monatomic gas. Okay, we are considering that it is having n number of moles of monatomic gas. Then the loss in kinetic energy will be, since it is suddenly stopped na, the loss in kinetic energy will be half mv square. Mv means m into number of moles into v square. Okay, so if there is a change in temperature, let us say this delta T is the change in temperature, then the heat gained delta Q will be equals to, since it is a monatomic gas, so we will write 3 by 2 nr delta T. Okay, 3 by 2 nr delta T. Okay, so it will be equals to, so 3 by 2 nr delta T will be equals to what? This loss in kinetic energy. Since we know that the gain in heat is equals to always loss in kinetic energy. Okay, so it will be 3 by 2 nr delta T will be equals to half mnv square. So solving it, we get delta T is equals to 2 cancels and cancel. So delta T will be equals to mv square over 3r, means option D is the correct answer. Now next question 19. A projectile is projected with velocity of 3 iota cap plus 4 j cap meter per second. We have to find the horizontal range of the projectile. Okay, so this question is from the chapter of motion in a plane. According to question, there is a projectile motion. Let us say this is a projectile motion and its velocity vector v is given as 3 iota cap plus 4 j cap meter per second. Okay, we have to find the horizontal range. Let us first find its magnitude. V equals to 3 square plus 4 square means 9 plus 16. So it will be equals to under root of 25 means 5 meter per second. Okay, so 5 meter per second means in y-axis 4, in x-axis it is 3. So it will be 5, okay? Now, for this, let us say this is theta. So sine theta will be equals to perpendicular over hypotenuse. So perpendicular over hypotenuse means 4 over 5. And cos theta will be base over hypotenuse means 3 over 5. So range formula, horizontal range formula is what? R is equals to u square means v square sine 2 theta over g. So it will be equals to v square sine 2 theta means 2 sine theta cos theta over g. So putting the value, we get v, velocity is 5 meter per second means 5 square into 2 into sine theta. Sine theta is what? 4 by 5 and cos theta is 3 by 5. So 4 by 5 into 3 by 5 over g. Gravity is 10. So solving it, we get 5 for the 25 into 4 to the 8 into 3 over 5 for the 25 into 10. So solving it, we get range R is 24 meter. Okay, this is our final answer. Now next question 20. Yeah. So in this question, a transistor is connected in a common emitter configuration. The collector supply is 8 volt and the voltage drop across the resistor is 500 ohm in the collector circuit is 0.6 volt. If the current gain factor alpha is 0.96, find the base current. Okay. So this is from the chapter of alternating current. Okay, so in this question, we are given VCC as 8 volt collector supply and voltage drop means V naught. It is given as delta IC, so delta IC RL, and it is given as 0.6 volt. Okay, voltage drop across the resistor is 0.6 volt. Na? So voltage drop is what? Current into this RL load resistance, so it will be 0.6 volt. And load resistor RL is given as 500 ohm. So gain factor is also given as 0.96. So base current, we know that the relation between base current and the gain factor beta and alpha is equals to alpha over 1 minus alpha. So it will be equals to 0.96 over 1 minus 0.96. So beta will be equals to 24. So V naught will be equals to delta IC into RL, na? And V naught is given as 0.6. So 0.6 is delta IC and RL is 500. So from here, delta IC will be equals to 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 3 ampere. Okay. And we know that the relation between beta and delta IC is beta equals to delta IC over delta IB, where delta IB is what? Base current. And we have to find this value. Base current is equals to delta IC over beta. So delta IC is 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 3 ampere and beta is 24. So just put the value and solve it. We get IB is equals to 50 into 10 to the power minus 6 means 50 microampere base current. Okay, so our correct answer is option B, that is 50 microampere. The next question is 21. A solid sphere of 80 kg and radius 15 meter moving in a space becomes a circular disc of radius 20 meter in 1 hour. The rate of change of moment of inertia in this process is, okay, so this question is from the chapter of laws of motion. So in this question, we are given with the mass of sphere equals to 80 kg, okay? And the radius of solid sphere, let us say RS, it is given as 15 meter. And the radius of circular disc, let us say RC, it is given as 20 meter, okay? And the time is given as 1 hour. So 1 hour means 60 minutes. It means 3600 second. Okay. Now, the moment of inertia of solid sphere. We know that moment of inertia for the solid sphere is 2 over 5 mr square. So it will be equals to 2 over 5 m. Mass is 80 and radius of sphere is 15 meter. Na? So into 15 square. So it will be equals to 7200 kg meter square. Okay. And similarly, the mass of inertia of disk for disk, let us say IS, it is for solid sphere, it is for disk, circular disk. So it will be equals to 1 by 2 mr square. So it will be equals to 1 by 2. Mass is 80 and R is 20 meter, means 20 square. So it will be equals to 16,000 kg meter square. Okay. Now let us say this is equation number 1, this is equation number 2. Now we have to find the rate of change of moment of inertia. So rate of change of moment of inertia is inertia of circular disk minus inertia of solid sphere over time taken in terms of seconds. So it will be equals to 16,000 minus 7200 over time. Time is 3600. So it will be equals to 22 over 9 kg meter square second inverse. This is our final answer. So it is 22 over 9 kg meter square second inverse, means option B is the correct answer. Okay. Now next question 22. If the BH curves of two samples of X and Y of iron are shown below, then which of the following statement is correct? Okay. These four statements are given. We have to find the correct statement. So first of all, this question is from the chapter of magnetism and matter. Okay. So we are given two BH curves of sample X and sample Y. So for permanent magnet, we usually prefer a material which high retentivity and high coercivity. Okay. High coercivity for permanent magnet. So for electromagnet, we prefer high saturated magnetism, low coercivity, and least possible area of hysteresis loop. Okay. For permanent magnet, we prefer high retentivity and high coercivity. But for electromagnet, we prefer low coercivity and least possible area of this BH curve. Okay. So from X and Y, X is more suitable for making a permanent magnet and Y is suitable for making electromagnet. Okay. So from these, option C, that is X is suitable for making permanent magnet and Y for electromagnet is the correct answer. Now next question 23. In a radioactive material, the activity time T1 is A1 and T2 is A2. If the decay constant of the material is lambda, then okay. So this question is from the chapter of nuclei. So we are given the time for the activity A1 is T1, for A2 is T2. Okay, we have to find the correct relation among these four options. So from radioactive decay law, we know that the radioactive decay law is given as minus dN over dt is directly proportional to n, or we can write it as minus dN over dt is equals to lambda n. When we remove this proportionality sign, we introduce a proportionality constant. So here lambda. Okay. So A will be equals to minus dN over dt, where we write A equals to lambda n. Okay. So we can write A is equals to lambda, and in terms of n, we know that n is equals to what? N naught e to the power minus of lambda t, na? So in place of lambda, n, we will write A equals to lambda n naught e to the power minus lambda t, where A naught is equals to lambda naught is the activity of the radioactive material at t equals to 0 time. This is for t equals to t time and this is for t equals to 0 time. Okay. So now for time t1, the activity is given as a1. So for a1, we write a1 is equals to a naught. In terms of this, we will write a naught e to the power minus lambda t1. Okay. And from question for t2, the activity is a2. So we write a2 is equals to a naught e to the power minus lambda t2. Let us say this is equation 1, this is equation 2. So dividing equation 1 by 2, we will write a1 over a2. It is equals to a naught will cancel each other. So e to the power minus lambda t1 over e to the power minus lambda t2. So it will be equals to e to the power minus lambda t1 minus of t2. Okay. So from this we can write a1 is equals to a2 e to the power minus of lambda t1 minus t2. This is our answer. So among these four options, option B, that is, sorry, B or A, t1 minus t2, minus sign is there, na? So option A is the correct answer. 24, a mosquito O is sitting in front of a glass rod having spherical end of radius of curvature 40 centimeter. The image would be formed at, okay. So this question is from the chapter of ray optics and optical instrument, okay. Ray optic and optical instrument, okay. So from this we see that the mosquito O is the object point and it is sitting in front of the glass rod having a spherical end of radius of curvature. So R is given as 40 centimeter radius of curvature, capital R. And we have to find the image, means we have to find the value of V. Okay. So in this question, okay, U is given as 20 centimeter now. And it is in front of the spherical, means we will take U as the -1. Okay. So using the formula U2 over V minus mu1, sorry, mu2 over V minus mu1 over U, it will be equals to mu2 minus mu1 over R radius of curvature. So just put the values. Mu2 is what? 1.5. So 1.5 over V minus mu1 is 1 over U. It is on the left side, so we will take negative signs. Mean 9, negative of 20. It will be equals to 1.5 minus 1 over R radius of curvature, means plus 40 according to sign conventions. So solving it, we get V is equals to minus of 40 centimeter, means this negative sign shows that the image is obtained on the same side of the object. Okay. So 40 centimeter left is the correct answer. Now next question 25. 1 mole of an ideal diatomic gas undergoes a process as shown in the figure. The molar specific heat of the gas in this process is, okay. So first of all, this question is from the chapter of kinetic theory of gases. So now in this curve, it is given that V is directly proportional to 1 over T. So removing this proportionality sign and introducing a constant, we write V equals to M1 over T, where this M is the slope of the curve, okay? Slope of the curve. So from this, we can say that Vt is equals to constant, okay? So we can write it as T dV plus V dt equals to 0 when we differentiate it. So we write dV is equals to minus of V over T into dt. Okay. Now we can write it as Q is equals to what? We know that Q is equals to delta U plus W, and this Q equals to delta U plus W, and it comes from first law of thermodynamics, that is dQ, it is equals to du plus dW. So we write it as here Q equals to del U plus W. Okay, so Q, this heat will be equals to C into dt. Okay, this Q we write C into dt, and this is internal energy, we write CV dt plus W means PdV. Okay, so here we write C dt is equals to CV dt, and in terms of PdV we are writing minus P over T into V dt from here. Okay, if from in terms of dV we are writing minus V over T into dt, and this P is same as the above equation. Okay, so from here we write this dt cancels, so we write C is equals to CV minus of PV over T. So, and we know that PV is equals to nRT, ideal gas equation. So in terms of PV we can write PV, we can write RT. So we will write C is equals to CV minus RT over T. So T cancels. So we get C is equals to CV minus R. Okay, let us say this is equation number 1. Now in this question, we are given a diatomic gas. For diatomic gas, we know that CV is equals to 5 by 2 R. Okay, so for diatomic gas, CV equals to 5 by 2 R. So just put the value C is equals to 5 by 2 R minus of R. So it will be equals to 3R over 2. So C will be equals to 3R over 2. Okay. How this CV 5 by 2R comes for diatomic gas? It comes like CV is equals to uh, N by 2R uh, N by 2R plus 1. And for diatomic gas, N is equals to 3. So it will be equals to 3 by 2R plus 1 means it will be 3 plus 2, 1, 5. 5 by 2R. Okay. It is R. Okay, so it is 5 by 2 R. This comes like this for diatomic gas. Okay, so the correct answer is 3 by 2 R, means option A is the correct answer. Okay, now next question. A capillary tube is attached horizontally to a constant heat arrangement, and if the radius of capillary tube is increased by 25%, then the rate of flow of liquid will change nearly by. Okay, so this question is from the chapter of mechanical properties of fluids. Mechanical properties of fluids. Okay, so liquid volume coming out of the tube per second will be, this is a direct formula, rho pi r cube over 8 eta L. This we have studied in theory part, that is V, volume of the liquid coming out of the tube per second will be equals to V equals to rho means density pi r cube over 8 eta L. So V will be directly proportional to R to the power 4. So from question we can write V2 over V1 will be equals to R2 over R1 whole power 4. So V2 will be equals to V1 into R2 over R1 whole power 4, and the radius of the capillary tube is increased by 25%. 25% means if originally it is 100, so now uh, it is becoming 25 more, means 125. Okay, so it will be V2 will be equals to V1 into 125 over 100 originally into 4. So it will be equals to V1 into 5 over 4 raised to the power 4. So V2 will be equals to V1 into this 244. Okay, so now delta V over V will be equals to V2 minus V1 over V1. So it will be equals to 244 V1 minus V1 over V1. So solving it, we get 144%, means option D is the correct answer. Okay, means the rate of flow of liquid will change nearly by 144%. Now next question 27. In the arrangement shown in figure, when the switch S2 is open, the galvanometer shows no deflection for L equals to 50 centimeter. Okay. When the switch S2 is closed, the galvanometer shows no deflection for L equals to 0.416 meter. The internal resistance R of 6-volt cell is okay. So this question is from the chapter of current electricity. Now, according to question, when S2 is open, as given in the question, when S2 is open, let us assume the resistance of XY be R, okay? So resistance of wire per unit length will be equals to X equals to R over L, okay? So it will be equals to R ohm meter inverse, okay? Since it is R over L, na? Resistance per unit length, so we can write it as R ohm meter per inverse, okay? So I, we know that from Ohm's law, V equals to IR. So I will be equals to this E naught over R, okay? That is, this is equation 1, this is equation 2. So the potential drop across 50 centimeter is what? 6 volt. As given in the question, na, this is 50 centimeter. So potential drop across 50 centimeter is 6 volt. So we can write E naught over R into this potential drop 50 over 100 will be equals to 6. So E naught will be equals to what? This RR cancels. So E naught will be equals to this 12 volt. Okay, let us say this is equation number 3. So now, according to question, when S2 is closed, the potential drop is given as 0.416 centimeter. Okay, so for here, V1 will be equals to E naught over R into this potential drop 0.416. So it will be equals to V1 will be equals to E naught is 12 volt, just put here. So we get it is 5 volt. Let us say this is equation number 4. So from this, we can write it as E minus IR. Okay. We can write E minus I into R will be equals to this 5 volt. Okay. So E is 6 minus IR equals to 5. Okay. E is 6, na? 6 volt. So 6 minus IR equals to this voltage 5 volt. So IR will be equals to 6 minus 5. So IR will be equals to 1. 6 minus 5 is 1, na? So I will be equals to, so let us say from given in the question, I will be equals to E naught over R, na? So we can write I as, wait a minute, 6 minus IR equals to 5. So we can write 6 minus this IR as, we can write it as, wait a minute, 6 minus 5 equals to I into R, and from the, okay, now correct. 6 minus IR equals to 5, and we can write 6 minus 5 equals to I into R, and from the equations we can write I is equals to 5 over 10, okay? 5 over 10, this 5 voltage, since V equals to IR, na? So we can write I equals to V over R, and V is 5 over resistance is 10, okay? So we can write this resistance is 10, na? So from circuit, we can write I equals to 5 over 10, and now putting this value of I 5 over 10 here, we can write 1 equals to 5 over 10 into R, okay? So we can write R as 2 ohm. Okay, so this is our final answer. So the internal resistance R of 6 volt is 2 ohm. That is option A is the correct answer. Now next question 28. In a Young's double slit arrangement, fringes are produced using light of wavelength 4000 angstrom. One slit is covered by a thin plate of glass of refractive index 1.4 and the other with another glass plate of same thickness but of refractive index 1.7. By doing so, the central bright shifts to original sixth. So next question is 28. In a Young's double slit arrangement, fringes are produced using light of wavelength 4000 angstrom. One slit is covered by a thin plate of glass of refractive index 1.4 and the other with another glass plate of same thickness but of refractive index 1.7. By doing so, the central bright shifts to original sixth fringe from center. The thickness of glass plate is okay. So this question is from the chapter of wave optics. Okay. So first of all, let us try to understand it as, let us say this is slit S1. Okay, this is slit S2. Let us say this is S1 and this is S2 and this is the screen. Okay. So according to question, the refractive index is 1.7. Okay, mu is given as 1.7. And let us say array is coming from slit S1 and slit from slit S2 and this is point P. So this refractive index is given as 1.4 and this is 1.7 na. Okay, and the wavelength is given as 4000 angstrom. Okay, and this is capital D, which is the distance between slits and the screen. Okay, so from according to question, fringes are produced using the light of wavelength. Let us say light is coming from here of wavelength 4000 angstrom. One slit is covered by a thin plate of glass, refractive index 1.4 and other of refractive index 1.7. Okay. So for doing this, the central bright shifts to original sixth fringe from the center. Let us say this one is the center one, and due to covering these slits S1 and S2 with the help of a plate, so this the central bright fringe shifts to the sixth bright fringe. Okay, so we have to find the thickness of the glass plate. So we know that the shift delta x, the formula is given as beta over lambda mu minus 1 into t. Okay, so due to first plate, okay, let us say due to one plate, first one, so delta x1 will be equals to beta over lambda mu 1 minus 1 into t. Okay, and due to second plate, let us say this will be equals to delta x2 will be equals to beta over lambda mu 2 minus 1 into t. Okay, let us say this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Okay, so net shift due to both the plates, net shift delta x will be equals to x2 minus x1. Okay, so it will be equals to beta over lambda taking common and t always common, so it will be mu 2 minus mu 1. Okay, let us say this is equation number 3. Okay, so now, and also it is given that uh mu is 1.4, mu 1, mu 2 is 1.7, lambda is 4000, and it is shifted to sixth fringe. Okay, sixth fringe means according to question delta x will be equals to 6 beta. Okay, so in place of delta x we will write here 6 beta, so 6 beta will be equals to beta over lambda into t into mu 1 minus mu 2, or you can write mu 2 minus mu 1. Okay, so we will write a mu 1 minus mu 2. So for this we have t will be equals to 6, this beta beta cancels, lambda over mu 1 minus mu 2, so it will be equals to 6 minus 6 into 4000, because lambda is given as 4000 angstrom, 1.7 minus 1.4, kept it as mu 2 minus mu 1 only, mu 2 minus mu 1. Okay, so that's why it will be 1.7 minus 1.4, and so solving it we get t as 6 into 4 into 10 to the power 3 over 0.3, so it will become into 10, so it will be equals to 3 2s are 6, 4 2s are 8, so 8 into 10 to the power 4 angstrom means T will be equals to 8 into 10 to the power minus 6, 10 to the power 4 angstrom na. Okay, so question micrometer, in terms of micrometer, So it will be equals to, if we write in terms of micrometer, so it will be equals to 8 into 10 to the power 4. So it will become 8 micrometer. Okay. So the correct answer is T equals to 8 micrometer. Option B is the correct answer. Now, next question 29. An electric current I enters and leaves a uniform circular wire of radius R through diametrically opposite points. A charged particle Q moves along the axis of circular wire, passes through its center at its speed v. The magnetic force on the particle when it passes through the center has a magnitude. Okay, so this question is from the chapter of electromagnetic induction. Electromagnetic induction. Okay, so in this question, we are asked to find the magnitude of the force on the particle when it is passes through the center. Okay. So we know that the force on a moving charge particle in uniform magnetic field is given by F equals to BQV sine theta. Okay. And according to question, the charge particle Q is moving along the axis of the circular wire. Okay. It is moving along the axis of the circular wire. So along the axis of circular wire means either the angle theta is equals to 0 or the theta is 180 degree. Okay. So when theta equals to 0, at that time F will be equals to BQV sine theta means sine 0 degree. BQV sine 0 degrees and sine 0 it was 0. So F will be equals to 0. And when theta equals to 180 degree, so at that time F will be equals to BQV sine 180 degree and sine 180 degree is 0. So F will be equals to 0 degree. So from both, if the theta, whether the theta is 0 degree or theta equals to 180 degree, the force will be equals to 0 means option D is the correct answer. Now next question, an achromatic convergent doublet of two lenses in contact has a power of plus 5D. The power of converging lenses plus 6D. We have to find the ratio of the dispersive power of convergent and divergent lenses is. Okay. So this question is from the chapter of optical instrument. Okay. So we know that the condition of achromatism is given by W1 P1 plus W2 P2 is equals to 0, where this W1 and W2 are the dispersive power of convergent lenses and divergent lenses. Okay, and P1 and P2 are the power of converging lens and power of diverging lenses. Okay. Now, from this question, we are given that P1 plus P2 equals to plus of 5D, as the achromatic convergent doublet has two lenses in contact and has a power of plus 5D. Means P1 plus P2 equals to 5D, and P1 converging lens power is given as plus 6D. Okay, so from here we can write W1 P1 equals to minus of W2 P2, means W1 over W2 equals to minus of P2 over P1. Let us say this is equation number 1. Since P1 is plus 6D and P1 plus P2 equals to plus 5D, so here we can find P2 equals to 5D minus of 6D, so P2 will be equals to minus of D. So put this value of P2 and P1 in this equation. So we get W1 over W2 equals to minus of D over P1. P1 is 60. So this will become D over 60. So D cancel means W1 over W2 equals to 1 by 6 means 1:6 is the correct answer. So from these, all of the options are wrong and the correct answer is 1:6.